Hi y'all, what's up YouTube fan bam? Welcome to my channel. You too can be great. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12 episode 4 review called Marriage in Sour Patches. I got my notes, child. It is all of a few pages and we're gonna go through every single thing I got on the show because this episode gave us a lot of tea that I need to break down so we can get some clarification on what the hell is actually going on with this, with the bits and pieces that piece together. Anyway, we know that the last episode they left off at they were at the parade, the Pride Parade. Cynthia was there with her daughter Noelle. Marlo was there with Nene. Nene had said a lot of shit on interview that she did that was forwarded to Eva. Eva forwarded it to Cynthia. Cynthia saw it. Eva was there as well. And so we got Nene going up to the float where Eva and Cynthia and Noelle was. And we just saw the whole fake cash display, go all with, hi, you look nice, and that crap that people do when they don't mean shit, that little politics that you have when you're at a job. Y'all want to sit there and laugh about dumb shit and talk about dumb stuff in the back of your mind. You're thinking you a bitch, I don't like you, fuck you, things like that. Nene did go over to Noelle, said hi to Noelle. She complimented Eva or whatever, and she said hi to Eva, and everybody's nodding their head like this is some bullshit. It was a very shady hello walk by, and then Cynthia goes in her confessional and says a comment that she heard from Nene. Hello doesn't cost her anything, so she can say hello and keep it pushing. And I'm just like, I'm thinking about the ages of these individuals. I think they're in their 50s. I know Cynthia's in her 50s, and I'm watching the way that they're behaving. And I'm like, after being friends for a decade, this shit don't make sense to me. I don't agree with half the stuff Nene does. I don't agree with half the shit Cynthia does. But the way that y'all articulating your anger or distaste for one another's behavior is very childish. And y'all are doing that shit in front of Noelle, who y'all have known since she was a baby. Or Nene has known since she was a baby, and Cynthia basically raised that girl. Now she grown, and this is how y'all are behaving. Anyway, Marlo was there. Eva wasn't, wasn't for, she didn't want to have anything to do with Marlo. She don't want to see Marlo. She don't want to smell Marlo. She don't want to even hear her name Marlo. She just want her to be Margot. So that's it for her. Then Nene makes this comment that kind of strikes me a little bit about what I'm going to say later on in one of the scenes that she had with Marlo. She says in her confessional, I never thought the gay community loved me so much. And I'm like, remind me, correct me if I'm wrong, this Pride Parade, is it by invite? Or do you choose to go there, and if you're a celebrity or if you're celebrity-ish or you're some list, Z-list, A-list, V-list, Y-list, no list, do you, how did the cameras follow you? Or Nene and Cynthia and Eva by there because they were invited to specifically be on a float? Or is it something they can choose to do because they're celebrities, they're well known, and they're put into a float where everybody can see them? Please correct me because I don't know how this works. But she makes that comment like the gay community are just thirsty for her and they just love her so much they wanted her to be there. And I'm like, where's the humbleness in your character when she made that? That's just me, and I said that because there's something I'm going to discuss later that's going to be, is going to put it together, so just bear with me. The second scene, we got Porsha the therapist. Now, Porsha the therapist, Porsha's not stupid, even though she comes off stupid sometimes. She ain't dumb. Sitting in the therapist's office, she makes it clear that she knows damn well that even though she may do a lot of things that are incorrect, she was carrying that man's baby. And for 7 months or for 8 months, however long PJ was in her belly, was the time that he felt it was necessary for him to go out there and be cheating on her. And even though the therapist is saying you don't want to make a decision while you're angry, that's correct. You don't want to make decisions that affect your entire family when you're pissed off. At the same time, when you're telling me that this man who cheated on me and doesn't even show much of any remorse about what he did and kind of blames it on me, you're asking me to now sit here and consider my thought process and whether I want to walk away from this or not. And Porsha says the door is closed because she don't deserve to be treated that way, but she expects Dennis's behavior to be better because he has a daughter now. And obviously a lot of men out there will go out there and do a lot of shit that they would not want another man to actually do to their own mother, sister, or daughter. So it's best for him to kind of grow up and mature and learn from this. Now, I don't know if I should feel sorry for Porsha, because she does admit that there was a lot of things about his previous behavior in the past that she chose to ignore. And so all those things that she should have been paying attention to is now coming to light, and she's having a hard time because she's really depressed and it's affecting her ability to go to work and possibly really be a good parent for PJ. The therapist asked her a question that was very important that I caught, and the question was, did you give him the trust, or did he earn the trust or the respect? And that was a very, very, very crucial point that she made, because Dennis didn't seem to have to work for anything. When we saw Porsha last season, when they were talking about Dennis, all she could think about is she don't want to know nothing. She didn't care. She got this big rock. He got all these hot dog company. He has a lot of money. He's the ideal man that she saw herself being together with, because he came with a lot that she wanted, all the fame, all the money, all the pizzazz that she wanted in her life. He came with, and she was willing to ignore everything else. So she gave him trust. She gave him respect because of what he could provide for her, and shut out everything. She fell in love with him, yes, and she fell in love with him wholeheartedly. But he now turned around and took advantage of it. And there's a meme I saw today that says, oh, relationships go through issues. Infidelity is just one of them. It's just, part of relationship. That is complete bullshit. Being in a relationship, there's a lot of relationship issues that you have when you're in one. Infidelity is not supposed to be a part of that situation. I think that because it's shown so much on TV with all these celebrities and reality TV people, that they're making it a norm, that, oh, cheating just happens, it's normal, it's just part of how it goes. No, that's not part of how it goes, and I hope that society doesn't buy into that bullshit. For cheating to be a factor in one of the issues that you have when you're in a relationship with somebody, that is not a normal thing. So don't normalize that shit in your head. It is not okay for somebody to look you in your face and give you their word that they are to be faithful to you, to respect you, love, and cherish you, whether it's through marriage or through just, you guys are living together and you have committed to one another, and then come back later and say, oh, well, I'm sorry I cheated. People make mistakes. It's just this and this. We have a family, da 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 da. It is your responsibility to consider that family before you go out and do something stupid and then come and tell me, oh my gosh, we have to consider our family. Fuck you and your consideration, because you just don't give a damn. You don't. So cheating should not be part of a normal relationship issue. It should be something that should not be tolerated in any form. Because what if that person goes and cheats on you and comes up with a disease that you can't heal from, that you got to now live the rest of your life with, and may not be able to move on and really enjoy yourself, because this person, whether he or she, and this goes for male and female, choose to do something so reckless. Now, I understand that when relationships have time in, people can make mistakes. I get that. But you normalizing that cheating is normal, it's just the everyday part of a relationship. It's all relationships should go through it. No. Every once in a while, a small percentage, we understand. I don't agree, whether you choose to do, whether you stay in there or not, that's up to you based on how your family dynamic is going. If you want to stay, you stay. If it makes you happy, if you think you can forgive, then so be it. That's up to you. But I just don't want people to think that because what's shown on TV, it is how it's supposed to be in all relationships. And that we just say, oh, cheating happens, it's okay, it's just a part. No, that's bullshit. Now, Kenya and Kandi the next scene, Kenya and Kandi are hanging out. And Brooklyn is now crawling. Kenya lets us know that Brooklyn was born in November, and Kandi discloses to Kenya that her daughter, Blaze, who we found out is already born in the side T, baby's here, surrogate already dropped the baby girl, she's here, her name's Blaze, and she said Blaze is supposed to be born in November. Here's the thing that concerned me. I did not see Cynthia in any form of this conversation, because it seems like Kenya is disclosing a lot of her personal business and what's going on between her and Mark to one person in the group, Kandi. She's not talking to Porsha, obviously, because they're still getting to know each other. Her and Nene ain't close, her and Eva are going through this petty bullshit. Nobody needs to tell Marlo anything, ever. Sheree's not even on the show, and they are friends. So the only person she would have is Cynthia and Kandi. Cynthia is supposed to be close to her. I'm wondering why she chose Kandi instead of Cynthia to disclose a lot of things that's going on, because she tells us that Mark is over here arguing with her about changing her daughter's diaper, so much so that Kandi got to pull this man aside to say, hey, let your wife change the diaper. And Kandi says that she's seen a lot of submission in their relationship. Now, I understand, and y'all may hate me for this, but I do believe that submission on the woman's part in certain areas is crucial and critical for the relationship to work. I don't mean submission in the sense that the man can walk all over you. I don't mean submission in the sense that the man can think that you're going to be cooking 3-course meals or 5-course meals every single night, that you're going to be there doing the cooking and cleaning and all this stuff, domestic work, that, the olden days type thing, and he's just going to go to work, beat on his chest and do nothing but be egotistical and, run the house, da 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 da. No, I don't mean it like that. I mean in the sense that there are roles in a relationship, and there's usually one person who's the dominant head, and there's usually the other person who's the dominant tail or the dominant neck, or the person who kind of handles other stuff. There's a balance there. And at some point, there has to be some form of submission. A majority of the times, from what I've seen, a woman is the one who does a lot of the submissiveness, because the man, the way that they process their thinking, they're supposed to protect. They're supposed to provide for you. They're supposed to kind of be the head of the household and make sure things are ran the way it's supposed to be ran, and everybody in the house is very well taken care of. Now, granted, being that we're the submissive one, and the man doesn't want the submissive one to be unhappy, because then he's gonna have to fight with us. A lot of times we're able to get our way. But when it's time for him to beat on that chest and be the head of the house, so we gotta kind of submit and move out the way and let him prove that he's the head of the house. So we gotta always give them that. That way they feel like their role is not being diminished. They're not being emasculated. They're not being treated less than in their own household, and they're loved and they're needed for something other than just, you know, nutting in you and giving you the baby. They're needed for something. So that's what I mean by that. However, in Kenya's case, it seems like Mark is going way too far with the submissive situation. You're over here yelling at this woman about how she's changing your kid's diaper. The fuck? Like, you're yelling at her, you know, you're scolding her about not having, in the last episode it was like he's complaining about her not cooking. And Kandi knows that when she's observed them, this is what she sees, and this is what I'm seeing. This alpha male persona that he has, it's not attractive, it's not appealing, and it's not like you're being an alpha male, but you're giving her the love, the attention that she actually needs you to give her. She may be more submissive if you let her know that you love her, and you give her some kind of love, you give her some kind of affection. If you gave her that, I can see how Kenya will be submissive, because she's getting that piece of you. But you're giving her nothing, and you're expecting her to give you everything. What, you want her head on the plate too? Like, I don't like Mark. That's clear. I don't like how he's treating her. I feel like Kenya, she's in this marriage now, and I don't know how she's going, you know, what she's going to do or how she's going to make the best of it, but I could tell that she's very unhappy. And she's going to Kandi and she's venting that frustration, because you always need one person that you can talk to and trust. I hope Kandi doesn't put her business out there, because she's also a married person. But right now, from what I'm seeing, Kenya ain't happy. And she's asking Kandi, you know, their anniversary's coming up. They're supposed to be planning something good. She wants to go to Turks and Caicos. And they're arguing about whether the nanny should come or not. Kenya wants the nanny to come to have somebody to watch the baby while they go and do their thing. And he says that he don't want the nanny, so what? He can give all his attention to the baby and not pay attention to her. I don't even think he likes her anymore at this point. I don't think he wants to spend any time with her. I think that when he comes home, all he wants to do is be with his baby. That's all he cares about. I don't know if I feel like he's doing this to teach her a lesson. He feels like if he removes his love from her, if he treats her a certain way, if he just backs up, she'll want him more, and he'll get her where he wants her to be. And I hope Kenya doesn't fall for that bullshit. It is a form of emotional abuse. It is, and it's toxic. Sorry. Next, we have Eva and her new bestie, Cynthia, are meeting up for a meal. Cynthia lets Eva know that Marlo is coming, and Eva's reads are on point for Marlo, because we already know Eva don't like Marlo. Marlo's out here telling people she broke. Marlo's out here telling people that she's a lesbian. Marlo's out here telling people that she don't have any money to pay for her wedding. Marlo's telling everybody that her bridesmaids don't like her. Marlo's telling everybody that she got poor credit and her house is being rented, and her clothes, one of her wedding clothes is being rented. I mean, Marlo is all up in her business. You would think that Marlo lives in the same house with her. So she don't like Marlo, and Marlo's, you know, bad-mouthing her and talking about her personal business with everybody else. But Cynthia lets Eva know that Marlo is coming, but apparently we find out later that Cynthia did not tell Marlo that Eva was going to be there. Marlo shows up, and Eva picks up all her stuff, all her food, pregnant as she is, and goes down to the bar area or some other area to eat, because she don't want to be around Marlo. And Marlo and Cynthia are having a conversation. Cynthia discloses to Marlo that she basically feel like Nene is going too far with the way that Nene is treating her, and that they've both said things in interviews, but she's not ready to deal with Nene's behavior, and that normally she's the one to go and apologize. And this is something I caught. I don't agree with how Cynthia and Nene are handling each other, because I think that the years of relationship that they've had should be enough to at least have a conversation and either work it out or go your separate way. However, in any relationship, whether it's friendship or romantic, if you are the only one that's always going to apologize and always going to apologize, the person that you're apologizing to, your partner, is going to start taking advantage of you. That is a guaranteed fact. And according to this, Cynthia is the one who she said, I've always been the one to go and say I'm sorry. I'm always the one to go and do and make peace. And it's almost like Nene is now feeling like if I push hard enough, or if I'm strong, if I'm this, and this, she's going to come running back and she's going to apologize to me, and things are going to be good again. And I'm going to be one that's going to be right, because nobody's going to look at me as the bad guy. That is not how a genuine friendship is supposed to work. If you are a friend to somebody and you know that there's something in the air that y'all haven't talked about, if you really cared about the person and see them as your equal, you pick up the phone, you talk, and you both apologize to each other one-on-one. You don't wait for the person to come running to you and apologize. But Marlo says, well, you've done it this whole time. You did this. You caused this, which is true. So go, almost like, are you going to try to do it again? Are you going to go do it again? You guys need to fix it. I don't think Cynthia should apologize to Nene. That's where I stand. I think that Nene is a little bit full of herself. I get that Cynthia should not have gone from interview to interview and talked about her relationship with Nene being toxic. She should just talk to Nene over the phone or face-to-face or over dinner. Don't put your business out there like that when you've been friends with somebody. However, I've seen a lot of other stuff that Nene has said about Cynthia on an interview. Cynthia is weak. Cynthia is doing too much with her man. Cynthia is this. Cynthia has another side of her. Cynthia is this. And I've seen all of that too. And Nene normally does that when she's upset. She did all that when Cynthia was with Peter and they weren't getting along. She called Peter a bitch and she went and did interviews about that, and Cynthia had to take it, and it seems like she didn't really give a damn about Cynthia's feelings at all. Like she could just throw her away. So Nene needs to also own the part that this fight is not just because of this fight. This fight is because of all the other things over the years that have transpired that both of them haven't really been discussing, and now it's come to a head. You're either going to come to a conclusion where you respect each other mutually or not at all. But then we got the next scene. Porsha's getting ready to go back to work because she can't be depressed all the time. She got to go back to dish, and she's taking PJ with her. And her mother is there and her sister's there to help her get stuff together. She gets the bottle, she goes, and she's off. Marlo and Nene meet up to eat, and Marlo decides to discuss with Nene that she went to have a dinner with Cynthia and Eva. And they heard the topic of Nene got brought up, and Nene says, why were you talking about me? And she said that they had been discussing about what's been going on between her and Cynthia. And it seems like Marlo really wants to be the peacemaker between Cynthia and Nene. And she discloses that Cynthia didn't tell Marlo that Eva was going to be there, and Nene brought that up as in shade. She don't tell nobody nothing. She sets this up type situation, but Eva got up and left, so it's not like Eva was a threat to Marlo anyway, even in the dinner. Anyway, this is something that I didn't like about the meeting, because during the conversation, Nene says that Cynthia was going out of her way to do these interviews and make people not like her. And I'm thinking to myself, no. And then they flash back to, I guess, Andy. Cynthia was doing like a little on one of Andy's shows, and the percentage of people who sided with Cynthia was 84%, as opposed to the 10% or so that sided with Nene. And she feels like Cynthia went out of her way to get people to not like her or to not see her in a good light. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm putting Nene saying earlier, I can't believe the gays like me, to her saying that Cynthia was trying to get people to not like her. Nene's not a people pleaser. She's not a people pleaser, okay? And I don't think you can make someone not like you when you've been on the show for 10, 12 seasons now. We've seen your entire personality play out. Some people are a fan of yours and some people are not. What we saw, particularly in last season, when Greg was going through cancer and the way that she was behaving, even in the reunion, when Nene was being passive aggressive and Cynthia was trying to explain the Kenya situation, I agree. Cynthia did not handle that Kenya situation correctly at all. She should have had the courtesy of letting Nene know, hey, Kenya's coming, y'all don't get along. Just so you know, I invited her. I don't know if she's coming or not. However, I don't feel like that particular situation was enough for Nene to throw the shades that she was throwing at Cynthia. Are we friends? Are we really? Good friend? I don't know. Things like that. You were doing that all through the reunion to everybody. You were like giving them your ass to kiss. We saw all of this. You were doing that, just sitting in that chair, not really answering to anybody. Porsha poured her heart out. You didn't say shit. Now you're saying that Cynthia is going out her way to get people not to like you. We saw some of the things that you did, girl. We saw your behavior. So for you to sit there, I don't think Cynthia can make people like you or not like you. We watched your character. And obviously you feel guilty about something because you're now trying to put the blame off on her and say she's the one that's making people not like your ass. Not true. Because Marlo also looks at Nene and says, you did things that were wrong too. You said things that were wrong too. So I think you also owe Cynthia an apology. And Nene says, no, you think I owe her an apology? I don't owe her an apology. I'm not going to be the one to apologize and have people thinking that this is all my fault. It is not about you, girl. It is not just about you. If you have a friendship with somebody, get out of your own self. Stop thinking about your damn self and your damn self alone. Be a little bit more courteous. Be a little bit more caring. If you love this girl like you say you love and you want to cry about it, is it so hard to say you're sorry to maintain the friendship that you have cultivated for 10 years? Is it that, are you that prideful that you can't do that? Nene, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Nene doesn't like what Marlo is saying to her. She doesn't like the fact that Marlo is telling her to apologize. She gets the ass up and she walks out. And Marlo's sitting here chasing her. And you know Marlo's pissed off. You can tell she irritated. You can tell she irritated. Like this girl, I just invited her to eat with me and I'm telling her my truth. I'm telling her how I feel. She can't even take my thoughts or even listen to me as a friend. She gonna get up and walk away like I'm just somebody because she don't like what I'm saying. Girl, bye. I do think that Marlo needs to stay out of this though because that's what Nene requests. Don't get into it. Don't get into it. Let it go. Next thing, we have Kandi, Todd, Dr. Jackie. They're discussing the baby coming out. They're at the hospital, and Jackie explains that once the baby's out, the surrogate's going to be in a different room. They're going to bring the baby to Kandi, and they're going to cut ties because this was a job. And Candy's feeling some type of way. I love that baby Ace was there. Baby Ace was like, I like the name Blaze. He can't wait to see his baby sister. I think he's going to be a good big brother. But during the hospital visit, Kandi gets a text from Kenya saying that she needs to talk because something just happened and she's not feeling well or something, or she's hurting or something like that. Todd takes Ace home and Kandi goes over to heads over to Kenya's house. But before we see the scene, Porsha went back to Dish. She came out. She was so excited that she went back to work, living her life, trying to get herself back into the flow that she was in before Dennis decided to break her heart. She took PJ with her. People loved having PJ there for the first time. They got to see the baby. It was good. Now she's going to look for a nanny. So she don't want to have to deal with Dennis or talk to Dennis or have Dennis be in her face while she's grieving, mourning the loss of her relationship and the craziness of the man that she chose. So she wants a nanny, but she don't want a nanny who's going to worry about getting paid. She don't want a nanny who's going to be all up in her face trying to know about her business and her daily life. She wants a nanny who's going to just pay attention to her baby and her baby alone. And that's what she wants. And she's going to start looking for one. Then the next thing, we got Kandi going over to Kenya's house. This entire scene hurt my heart. I don't know if it's because I felt sorry for Kenya. Now, I know Kenya has done a lot of shit in the past. I saw what she did with Phaedra and Apollo. I saw how she started drama on the show with Sheree. She just was in people's business. I saw all of that. And I don't think that Kenya is an innocent individual in how she's behaved all the seasons that have seen her. I don't. But how she treated Kim Fields. I thought that was fucked up how she treated that woman. However, it will be horrible for me as a human being to see Kenya break down the way that she has broken down in this particular episode at the end and not feel for her or feel something for her. Because we already know that she wanted a kid. She's wanted a kid since she was a kid or whatever. She wanted a family of her own. And she waited this long to, I think she's 47? She waited this long to have this little girl and her family that she's wanted. And I think she's now realizing that she chose the wrong man. Because this man's personality and the way he handles her is different from the type of man that she would have wanted to spend the rest of her life with. And because she felt like, you know, she has a bad relationship with her mom. Her mom's not even in her life and don't like her. And so she don't want her daughter to be in any kind of negativity. And when she's constantly fighting with her daughter's father, it becomes a problem. Kandi's at the house. We learned that she went on her own anniversary by herself. I was like, Mark got in an argument with you and thought it was cool to let you go on your anniversary by yourself, Turks and Caicos with just you and the baby, and this man decided not to show up. I personally feel like Mark is doing some janky shit in the side. I don't know if he's cheating. I don't know if he's got some side piece. I don't know if he's talking to the side piece. He just haven't fucked her yet, or him, or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like this man does not want her anymore. Either that or he's punishing her. He's deliberately treating her this way because he's trying to make a point, or he's trying to break her to do whatever the hell that he wants her to do. Because this man went so far as to have his wife have her anniversary by herself. Who the fuck does that to somebody that they're supposed to love? That's going too far. Even if you're mad, you need to be angry on that anniversary, mad, and make sure that you guys stay together until you figure out something. But she went on that anniversary by herself, and I'm just like, that's fucked up. Then Kenya not wanting to tell us a lot of everything that he was saying, but we did learn based on what Kandi and her were talking about that apparently he does call her out her damn name when they argue. And before in the past, in the honeymoon stage, when they're getting to know each other, he was on his best behavior. When he argued with her, he was very mindful about what he said to her. He didn't go so far as to break her down. And now, he just don't give a damn. He's just saying whatever the hell he wants to say, whatever he wants to say it, and whenever they fight. And Kenya is trying to articulate to him that we are not fucking. The baby is out. I am wanting you, my husband, to be inside of me, through me, on the sideways, with me, hang out with me, kiss me, show some kind of affection. Because when you're not here, I'm with the baby all the time. And when you are here, you're with the baby all the time. When do I get some piece of you? And she's trying to articulate that, and he's not really getting the point. And they're fighting over dumb little shit about diapers and breakfast and dumb stuff because they're not dealing with what the real issue is. And now we're celebrating anniversaries by ourselves. This is a divorce waiting to happen. It's a toxic relationship. It's only been a couple years and all this nonsense is happening, and y'all just had a kid. It is too much for a relationship that's this new to be going through. It's just too much for a new relationship to be going through. It's too much. It's too much. And I don't know. I just watched Kenya go into the room bawling because she don't want to be caught on camera crying. And Kandi just sitting on the couch like, what am I supposed to do? This girl's like, you could hear her bawling. And I felt bad for her because even the devil wants love. Everybody wants love. Serial killers want love. Murderers want love. Drug dealers need love too. Everybody needs love. But Kenya is at the point where I think she's breaking down. And she's trying to keep things to herself without telling us the truth. But she says that this man turns into a whole monster when she's pissed off. And everybody has those side of her. But so far, I haven't seen a single thing in this marriage that I would say is a happy situation. Not one. Not one. I haven't seen anything here besides Brooklyn that is happy. It's sad. It's hurtful. Kenya's crying. It's sad as hell. Anyway, that was what happened on this episode. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. For those of you who have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. As soon as I watch Married to Medicine, because I know I want to go off and see why the hell Jackie was so pissed off and what really happened between her and Buffy and how they're going to, deal with it at this dinner. But I'm going to go ahead and do a review on that once I watch it. But you guys go ahead, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.